Can you open a pension for your child? Well, the simple answer is yes, you can. And if you do it from the day that they are born, you could actually be handing them £1 million retirement, and it's going to cost you less than £8 a day. So what you need to do is put in £240 a month and do that from birth up until the age of 18. And the government will top it up with free money, which is basically going to be 20% tax relief on every penny that you put in. Now, stop paying when they turn 18 and don't add another pound. And assuming a 7% average growth, that pot could be worth over £1.8 million in future money terms by the time they reach retirement age. So my name's Sakasai, and I've got over 25 years experience of helping people plan for their retirement. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth does £240 a month turn into over £1.8 million? And the simple answer is time and something called compound growth. And here's how it works. What you do is you open up what's called a Junior SIPP, and a SIPP is a self-invested personal pension, and you do that for your child. And what you do is, and you can put in up to £2,880 a year, and the government will automatically add 20% tax relief on top. That's basically £720 of free money every year, bringing the total to £3,600. And the good news is that HMRC actually adds the tax relief automatically. So what you don't need to do is to claim it. There's no forms to fill in. It just goes straight in. And the good thing as well is it's not just parents that can use it. So your grandparents can pay in, aunts, uncles, godparents, basically anyone can contribute. And the investments inside that pension grow completely free of inherent income tax and capital gains tax. So every pound of growth stays in the pot and keeps compounding, and that is the key thing. So over 18 years of paying in £240 a month, you'd contribute £51,840 off your own money. The government would then add £12,960 in tax relief. And at 7% average growth, that pot at 18 would already be worth around £131,000. So watch this line here. £240 a month from birth and then nothing. So by age 18, that pot is £131,000. But as you can see, the real magic happens next. With no more money going in, compound growth takes over. That £131,000 past the £1 million mark by mid-50s. And by 57, it's worth £1.83 million. And 97% of that is pure growth and not your money. The reason that the pot grows so fast after you stop paying in is that compound growth works on everything that's already there. So that's your contributions, the tax relief, and all the growth that you've accumulated from previous years. It all basically just compounds together. So the way that I like to describe it is, think of it like a snowball rolling downhill. So the bigger it gets, the faster it picks up speed. Now, of course, 7% for some people might seem quite high as a future investment return, but the Vanguard Global All Cap Index, which basically tracks thousands of companies worldwide, has averaged over 10% a year since its launch. And broad global stock markets have historically returned between 7 and 10% over long periods. Now, you could always use 5% if you want a more cautious number, but even at 5%, that same £240 a month from birth to 18 would still be worth around £713,000 by age 57. And you leave it to 67, it crosses the £1.16 million mark. If you are currently thinking about retirement, we have a free retirement checklist that'll help you think through all the things that you need to be doing and thinking about ahead of retirement. So you can go to our website, financialeducation.co.uk, and on the top there you'll see something called retirement checklist. So if you click on that, that will take you to a page where you can download the checklist from. And basically the checklist itself is called Are You Ready to Retire? And within there are 10 key areas that you need to be thinking about ahead of retirement. So all the way from understanding how your retirement income strategy is going to work, how you take out money in the most tax efficient way, how you transition from work into retirement. Basically, what this document is going to help you do is give you a full action plan and a blueprint to make sure you are fully for retirement. So for each of those 10 sections, what we do is give you all the key questions you need to be asking yourself and all the actions you should be doing ahead of retirement, and also when you should be looking to do it. So by the time you get to the end, you should have a blueprint and an action plan that's going to make sure that you are fully ready to retire successfully. And you can access this by just scrolling down to the bottom here, adding your name and your email address, and then we'll email you a link to be able to download the document for yourself. But here's a chart with a comparison I think that really puts this into perspective. So again, someone who starts at 22 and pays that same £240 a month all the way to 57, so that's 35 years of contributions, ends up with £533,000. And the child who started at birth with just 18 years of contributions and then nothing actually has £1.83 million. So half the money in, triple the pot. And that is the power of having an 18-year head start. So hopefully this chart does help illustrate how powerful this can be. Now, from what I've seen, I think people can sometimes massively underestimate how much difference those early years make. See, it's not about being rich. I think it's about giving time the chance to do the heavy lifting for you. Now, like everything, there is always a catch, and it is an important one. And that is the money in a junior SIPP is in a pension, so that means it's completely locked away until your child reaches minimum pension age, which is currently 55, but is rising to 57 from 2028. And it's highly likely that if your child has recently been born, it's going to go beyond 57 by the time they are at retirement age. So that means your child cannot touch it in their 20s to buy a house or to pay off student debt or even start a business. But at 18, they do take control of the account, so they can choose how it is invested going forward, but they still can't withdraw anything from it. So if you want help with shorter term goals, what I suggest to do is you look at something called a junior ISA, and that can sit alongside the junior SIPP. So the ISA lets them access the money at 18. And there's also investment risk to be honest about. I mentioned the 7% growth, but the key thing is that obviously isn't guaranteed because markets can go up and they can go down. And there naturally will be years where the pot falls in value. But you'd expect that over a 50-year time horizon, and history strongly favours this, staying invested will give you the best outcome. And I think one more thing worth knowing are the rule changes that are coming from April 2027, where any unused pension pots are being brought into the scope of inheritance tax for the first time. Now, this clearly doesn't affect the child's pension while they're alive and growing, but it is a shift in how pensions are now being treated or not being treated as a wealth transfer tool. So for a child's pension built over decades, the primary purpose is obviously going to be their retirement income, not inheritance planning. So this is probably less of a concern here. So here's what I would do if there's something that you're thinking about doing. That is to open up a junior SIPP and do that as soon as you can. And clearly you don't need to start at £240 a month. Even £50 a month with the government's tax relief becomes £750 a year. And over 57 years of growth, that still turns into a meaningful pot. And the most important thing isn't the amount for me, it's actually starting the clock. Now, I'd be interested to know, is this something you've thought about? Have you started a pension for your child? Or whether it's something you plan to do? I'd love to hear. Do leave a comment below. And for more details on this and similar related topics, you can go to our website, financialeducation.co.uk. And if you did find this content helpful, please do like and subscribe. And if you've got a question you'd like me to answer, please leave it in the comments below. Finally, good luck and goodbye.